Welcome to Hy-Vee Today with Tony Tone. We're live inside Muscatine Hy-Vee on 2nd Avenue in Muscatine, streaming on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Now, here's Tony Tone.
So just to be clear, we had a show on Friday, the 11th of January, and I don't believe at that point there was measurable snow on the ground. Am I correct in saying that? We got here Friday, didn't seem like winter, and then all of a sudden, boom, winter showed up. It is January. We're in Iowa. No, none of us should really be surprised, but 7.8 inches of snow. That's according to that Muscatine, Iowa weather Facebook page. I'm more inclined, and I think that's Tyson is his name that runs that page. I don't know if he has any background in weather or meteorology, but he seems to have a more accurate snowfall total than, say, one of the Quad City TV stations that said Muscatine had 5 inches. I feel like I shoveled more than 5 inches of snow. So there you go, right there, Muscatine, Iowa weather on Facebook. And if you keep scrolling a little bit, Ryan, you'll see that there were some totals that they posted. His graphics have gotten better. I feel like he's doing a good job talking about another threat for snow heading into this coming weekend and some cold temps. But yeah, 7.8, there you go, right there, 7.8 inches of snow for Muscatine. Again, this is from the Muscatine, Iowa weather Facebook page. Washington and Burlington, 10 inches of snow, right. So if you busted out the snowblower or the shovel, I was dropping off one of my kids at school today. I was driving behind a car that's entire back windshield was covered with snow. Is that not illegal? I mean, aren't you supposed to wipe the snow off your window? How? Because the person couldn't see, right? I took a picture of it, and I'll share it after I crop their license plate. But it was really bad. You know, you got to wipe the snow off. That their entire back window was covered. Not even just a little bit. Not Jim Simmons' car. Let the record state it was not Jim's vehicle. But I was concerned. Not enough to I'm sure that they were aware. It's not one of those things you're going to wave to the person. There's snow on the back. They know. But maybe we need to buy him a snow brush. And yes, I did wait to take, Betsy's making fun of me because I took a picture. I waited until I was at the intersection. I was stopped. I was not moving when I did that. So I'm just saying this all out loud because I need to buy more salt, right? My driveway, there's a little patch of it that I almost did a triple sow cow when I was taking out some garbage this morning. That's a figure skating term if you're not familiar. So just beware that there could be some slick spots on sidewalks, roadways, maybe some black ice, and that I would like you to clean up if you haven't shoveled or salted around your house, because if we do get these sub-zero temps heading into this coming weekend, that's when things really start to freeze up and can get kind of nasty. Plus, if you wait to shovel through all this stuff, no good. It was already a heavy of enough snow, but I was able to move it fairly easy. So that's all the weather talk that we need to do on Hy-Vee today. We're in the Midwest. I'd rather have it now than in March, as I've said, and I will continue to say. It's Monday, January 14th. Tonight we're playing. Ryan, are those your? Did you leave your donuts over there again, Ryan Broderson? No? Somebody left a box of donuts. I thought they were Ryan's breakfast. We're playing bingo tonight in the Market Grill Express. We'll mention this, and then we'll get to our first guest. Free to play bingo. Starts at 6 o'clock. I know it says it goes till 7:15, which is a weird time. We'll really get done closer to 7:30, but I say 7:15 so that my wife doesn't think that I'm going to be home super late, right? We'll play 20 games of bingo, $5 Hy-Vee gift card with each bingo game you win. If you do the math, I believe that's 100. 5 times 20. John, come on, 5 times 20. I think that's 100. All right, let's get to our first guest with CBI Bank and Trust. He's a Senior Vice President and Senior Trust Officer, John Holte, on the show. Was my math right there?
I'm assuming it was.
John, I feel...
Nobody out there said it wasn't. So.
Right. Well, what they do is they laugh when I do bad math. I feel like, John, the reason that my buddy, B.O.B. Bob Howard, has not stolen me from Hy-Vee to come work at CBI is because my math is so bad.
That's
can you
the only
attest
reason.
to that? That's
okay.
it. Is that right?
That's the only reason. I can understand that.
That's what I figured you'd heard at work. So thank you for confirming that. I'm glad that you're here. When it comes to the stock market, because that's what we're here to talk about today, I am a novice, to say the least. I don't own any stock. I don't own stock in anything. I almost have questions that I feel like you could walk me through, but I also assume that there's people that are going to watch this show, whether they're live with us on Facebook or YouTube or going to see this on cable tonight. How is the market? It seems like, I pay attention a little bit, it seems like there's been sort of a little bit of a roller coaster ride lately, but how are things heading into this week, and then maybe reflect on how things have been?
Okay. Well, starting in October, we had the start of a downturn in the stock market. We've had about a 20% correction overall, and we're going to see some bumpy rides going forward, we think. The economy is still running strong.
Sure.
And I think most of this has been created by the consumer trying to outguess what's going to happen in real life.
Okay.
Which, if I could do that, that would be great, but nobody can.
Right. So consumer confidence and spending, it seems like, that can maybe, I don't know if you can measure that around the holidays, but it seems like, by all accounts, places like this, Hy-Vee, were busy, had a good December. Seems like that's maybe carrying over into January a little bit. There's always that concern about the credit card bill showing up, right? A lot of retail is sort of shaking in their boots when those credit cards bills come due. But that's good to note. So that consumer confidence, that can play a lot into the market, right? As far as if people, regardless of this rule, spend on buying and not all of a sudden keeping everything close to the chest, that's a good sign overall, right?
Well, the consumer is the largest area of the economy.
Right.
So if the consumer starts getting fidgety on what they're buying, that's going to affect everything really quick.
Yeah, so how does that, so you talk about the swing that happened in October. Is the consumer just sort of hanging on at that point and thinking, I'm going to keep being proactive, I don't want to let this scare me? I don't know if that's the right word, but again, layman here, I would feel like if I see a dip in the market, maybe I would get a little bit concerned. But I like what you said, trying to outguess or stay ahead of the curve on this. That would make sense to me.
Yeah, most reports I look at, if you try to figure and outguess the market, you're going to hurt yourself.
Gotcha. Okay.
Typically, you can take a 10-day period in the last 10 years,
sure,
the 10 best stock market days, and that's going to cut your return in half if you weren't in the market on those days.
Holy moly.
So it gets,
wow.
Trying to outguess the market doesn't do you any good.
Josie Wall on Facebook says, tell John we're working hard while we watch this. I believe that. I believe that. Right?
Yes, they work very hard.
They do. That's what we were just talking about before we started. John was saying all of his coworkers, but specifically Josie, hardworking people, right?
Yes,
100%.
they are. They are very hard.
So for that person that, again, is curious and maybe wants to start toeing the water of playing the stock market, investing, reaching out to someone like yourself, is that as easy as it is having a conversation with you, John? Let's walk them through that process, because again, they're going to see this and they're going to go, you know what, maybe now is a good time to call John at CBI Bank and Trust. So let's go through what that process is like, that initial one.
The bank has both a brokerage and a trust side, which can provide different types of services for different people, depending on what their needs are. We will sit down with people free of charge, no cost to talk about it. We will even do a free financial plan for people and help them understand where they're heading, especially when they're getting ready for retirement.
Right.
Understand what do these numbers all mean? Because I don't, they aren't going to necessarily know. Am I going to be able to retire? What's it going to be like? Well, we can help them look at scenarios and et cetera. So.
And I think the thing, and we're looking at some of the trust info on the CBI Bank and Trust website. An important thing for me is always when you start talking about retirement and financial future and stability. Sometimes people feel like that'll never be me, or they're not at the point where that's something that they could even consider. But I know that we've talked about this a little bit with CBI Bank and Trust folks. That's not the case. I mean, This isn't just for the top 1%, if you will. I mean, this is something that everybody should have a conversation about. But none of us want to work until what's the point of life, right? We don't want to work until we're 90. No. You want to be able to stop working, retire. And I know that's tough for a lot of people. I feel like I have more retired friends that are working harder than they should, and that's by choice. A lot of them don't want to feel like they don't have anything to do. But talk about that. I mean, this is something that is a service that's available for everybody, and it could really change somebody's life. But they need to start sooner than later, right?
Exactly. The earlier you start on your 401k retirement type of plan, the better you're going to be in the future. It's going to be taking advantage of markets and growth and et cetera. The younger you are, you actually enjoy these types of down periods that we have because you're buying stocks that are cheaper than they were 6 months ago.
Yeah.
And you're being able to save some money. So it's as you get closer to retirement, you need to be dealing with these fluctuations. How does it affect your balance? How's that balance level going to affect you emotionally?
Sure.
And that's a big reason why I think people need to seek out a financial advisor.
Right. I feel like everything that we're going to talk about today is something that I need to pay attention to, right? Hy-Vee's a great company, 401k match up to 6%. Like, they have a lot of awesome benefits here. But even still, like, my mom growing up had a group of friends, and they were in this stock market club. And each month they would get together, pool some money, and buy stocks. And I can't remember if they were in early on. It may have been Apple. Not that my mom's not sitting in like a golden palace by any means, but they were in early on a couple of stocks, and their little group did okay, I remember. But that's just it, right? Like, whether you have a group of friends that might know what they're talking about, I would just leave it to the experts as far as, because if there is this dip right now and people are able to buy, are there any stocks in particular that you can tell us that you're maybe directing folks to? And that might be too specific of a...
Well, we do have our own buy list for individual stocks that we do purchase for our clients. We have our own buy list for mutual funds when it's appropriate for that diversification purposes. So we do want to make sure that we're providing a good service. But I think this is when we really provide a good service, is when people start getting edgy about what they're doing and what's happening in the market.
Sure.
And we help them make sure to remember, okay, we have a plan in place.
Yep.
Let's stick with the plan, and let's not try to outguess what's going to happen.
Correct. Right, and that's where you have to come in sort of with the confidence to say, we're going to be, everything's going to be okay, right? Trust that we know what we're doing. How long have you been with CBI Bank and Trust in this role?
Been there 8 years.
Wow, good for you. That's fantastic. So the stability is there and continue to grow. I know that that's a benefit to everybody that utilizes CBI Bank and Trust, right?
Yes.
Like, you guys know what you're in all the different entities, and I don't know, I feel like if people are going to talk about their future, they need to be having that conversation with y'all. I mean, it just makes sense, right? So how many other people at the bank are able to help with sort of helping people set up for their future, whether that is with different investment options or at least having the conversation? I mean, you're available, but how many other folks are in the...
We have two brokers, Matt Strajak and Jordan Miller.
Okay.
So both local boys. Men, sorry.
Sure. Boys is fine. They would appreciate that. So it's just a matter of figuring out what makes sense. And again, not. I mean, if there was a way to say this is what your job would be a lot easier, but that's not the case, right? I mean, it gets down to that individual that comes to have a conversation as far as
Each person's different.
yes, each person is different. So if you have no idea what type of plan I have in place, and I think a lot of us probably are at that point where it's time to start thinking long term, even if it's a small amount to start, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it adds up. Like that snowball effect, right? You just little by little. And I'm learning that at 35, right? I'm starting to figure things out a little bit that I can have the amount. You know what I mean? I think that however we need to have these conversations, and it can be uncomfortable for people. So I imagine for that first time person that comes to the office, that's something that you probably have to work hard to make them feel comfortable, right? Because if they can't even understand a lot of the lingo, that's another wrinkle to your job. I'm just sitting here realizing that being able to almost translate all of this information that you have to that person that's shown up for the first time, that's got to be tough.
Yeah. One of the things clients that I'm meeting with is kind of, it's not a dumbing down, but it's talking
Sure.
normal to people instead of trying to talk at that 50,000 level. A lot of estate people, and they look at me
Okay.
with glassy eyes sometimes, but we make sure they understand what their needs are and why they should do different things in their estate plan as well.
All right, let's talk about estate planning. I'm glad that you brought that up. So for someone, now at 35, do I need to worry about that or no?
Yes.
I'm 30.
Three. Okay, what happens if you and your wife have an accident?
Oh, I don't even want to think about it.
Exactly. You don't want to think about it,
Right.
But it's a thing where you need to be thinking about it.
So what would you advise someone like myself to be?
Attorney
Okay.
to begin with, and Muscatine has got a lot of good attorneys here in town that can help you, work with you on your estate plan.
Okay.
They're probably going to recommend that you look at getting a trust for your kids,
Okay.
because if both of you and your wife are gone,
Sure.
I don't want my 18-year-old to have all, we're worth more
Right.
dead than we are alive, unfortunately.
Sure.
But, so that I don't want my kids to have restricted so that they are going to have college paid for and other
Yeah.
things like that. So,
Wow. Okay. And settlement. Wow. Yeah, that's something that you don't want. Sorry.
we have a lot of those coming up. It isn't always easy because, in the scenario, you're killing one of the people off,
Right.
unfortunately. And you're saying, what happens if they're gone? And you got to run through that and face the reality of it a little bit. And we do that regularly. And people look at me like, how do you handle that?
Yeah, that's a tough conversation to have a lot of.
Yes.
But again, it's just part of life. Now, as part of that estate planning, and correct me if I'm wrong, but the funerals are not going down anytime soon. So is that part of that estate planning or no? Is it?
No, we don't handle the funeral arrangements.
Gotcha.
It is always recommended to our clients that they go and do a prepared.
That towards
No,
that.
the state does always pay for it, but we aren't going to go in and
Right.
say, oh,
Set
this
it up,
coffin
yeah.
and
Right.
and et cetera.
So
That
do
needs to be
that
the family.
legwork, but then again, right? I mean, these are all the things that can. It's terrible when it happens. I mean, and you hear about thousands of dollars in these costs, and you just go, "Wow, really?" And for a lot of people, I mean, you're never really prepared to lose somebody, but then there's all this expense and stress that comes on top of it. It's tough.
One of the things that a lot of people don't realize is the stress involved with that job, taking on being executor or trustee for your parents or what. It takes a lot of time. If you aren't used to doing that, it can take even more.
Yeah, so you could leave it up to the experts again and people that you literally can trust to do what's right. I mean, it seems I would want that to be a burden. I mean, really a burden, right? Especially if you think you're doing the right thing and then, God forbid, you make a mistake or a bad decision. Yeah, I don't know. That just makes a lot more sense to me now that I think, even now that I say it out loud, I'm like, yeah. 35. Ryan Broderson. I didn't think I'd have to pull this up. We go back to the CVI Bank and Trust website for a second. Right under that estate and executorship, there was something that I wanted to talk about, which was, I think, an individual retirement account. Okay, so
IRA,
again,
yep.
some IRA options that are available for folks that, again, a little bit of IRA, the people retirement account. Would you still recommend that as a good option?
What I'm going to recommend is you maximize your 401k, the plan that you have at work first. That's
Gotcha.
going to be the most cost-effective and easy way for you to do that. Comes directly out of your paycheck, so you don't feel it as much as writing that check.
Sure.
It's a lot easier. IRAs are used more really used more when they do retire.
Gotcha.
And they roll it out of the company plan and they want to have more control over it.
Perfect. So again, using me as the example, Hy-Vee matches 6% 401k. Say I'm here for another 25 years, retire, then I would start to consider rolling that 401k into an IRA. And then the difference between an IRA and a Roth IRA, because I hear Roth IRA, John, and it makes my skin crawl. I don't know what it means.
Okay.
I try to pretend I know things when financial conversations come up, and I'm like, yeah, I know David Lee Roth IRAs. Those are my. And by the way, why don't you have a David Lee Roth IRA at CBI Bank and Trust just to be different?
Probably copyright issues.
Well, that's fine. I mean, David Lee Roth doesn't seem to be that busy. But explain the difference between the Roth IRA and the standard IRA.
Well, a Roth IRA is set up where you're paying taxes now on the money that goes into the plan, and later on it comes out tax-free. A traditional IRA or your traditional 401k plan, you pay money in, you're putting that in tax-free now. It grows tax-free, just like the Roth, but you take it out and you pay taxes at the end of it.
Now, I'm no expert, but I feel like the Roth plan is way better.
The Roth is a gift from Congress that they don't realize that they gave us, I think. It's a big deal.
Yeah.
It really can benefit a lot of people.
Right.
It will create two different pots.
Okay.
You know, the way I look at it is for retirement planning. I'm not going to have my own money, a big savings outside of retirement. A lot of us aren't.
Right.
They're going to have a 401k.
Yep.
But so then I don't want to be 66 years old and want to take grandkids to Disney World or Disneyland. I don't know which one's better, but and say all of a sudden now we're stuck trying to figure out, I need $10,000 to do all this, and then I got to spend another 30% just to pay for the taxes.
No.
I don't want to do that.
No.
So that's why I like the Roth. It becomes more of a savings account type of aspect later on.
Sure.
And I take it out. I'm not paying tax on that portion. I'm used to paying tax on my paycheck, so I can handle that.
Yeah, I feel like no tax. I mean, that just makes sense. So Roth IRA all the way.
And
but max out that 401k, because I bet a lot of people, if you work for a place that matches, you need to make sure that you're maximizing that.
Exactly.
Even if you feel like, well, I don't know if I can afford that extra 50 or 75 bucks, whatever it works out to. In the end, you're just leaving money on the table if your company, right?
Exactly. The free money. Nobody's going to get you that 100% return or 50% return, depending on what type of match it is. So you need to really get set up so that you're contributing and just keep contributing in those fashions. But
you got to keep it. I mean, keep it maxed out if you can afford it. A lot of the times you don't even notice that it's not there. As you look ahead, and again, I don't know how much forecasting you can do in your business, because certainly things can change on a dime, right?
Yes.
Sometimes things can get said and the market can, I don't know. I mean, but as you maybe peak at 2019, the rest of the month into February, how do you think the market's going to continue to build back up? Again, this is a tough thing to forecast. I wouldn't want to do it.
What we've seen start in January is the market coming back.
Good.
The market has come back almost 7 to 10%.
Okay.
That's a big deal.
Sure.
But those people that overreacted last month lost out on those earnings.
Right.
And then they're afraid to get back in. And that's where coming and working with the financial advisor, it'll work out for you.
So that really, did your phone ring a lot during that little dip?
We talk and communicate with our clients a lot about these things and make sure that they understand, hey, this is the time. If things have changed, we need to work on these things.
Gotcha.
But we have a plan in place, and that plan should work through all these types of markets.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, that's where that comfort can come in because I don't know if you tell people to watch TV or the news when this happens, but I would maybe tell them not to, because again, if you turned on the news for a couple of days, it was doom and gloom, to say the least.
Yes.
So that's where you can get a little shakiness, I'm sure. And that's where it makes your job even more challenging when you tell them that we have this infrastructure, we have this plan in place to take care of you. This isn't something that is coming to, as a surprise to us. Of course, you don't want it to happen. You're not sitting there hoping that this happens. You only want the market to continue to grow and to bear fruit. But you put on the TV for a second, and whether it's somebody yelling about how bad it is, I don't know. That doesn't seem like it's doing you any favors, right?
No, it's not. Don't listen to the pundits. Don't worry about all those things that they're bringing up. A lot of people say, "Well, I'm going to lose all my money in the market." Well, that for you to lose all your money in the stock market when
Sure.
you're using mutual funds, you know, every company is going to start having something
Correct.
wrong with them, be
Correct.
broke.
Right.
We're going to have. I don't see that ever happening.
Sure.
So,
I don't know. It just seems like it gets to the point where you're better to just, you know, if somebody's, especially if someone's working with y'all at CBI Bank and Trust, rather than get your information. I mean, I would make a phone call and just say, how are we doing locally? How are you guys handling this? And that's where you can be that voice of reason. But I'm super excited to hear that things are starting to come back up.
Yes.
And for those folks that held on, right? I mean, what a good feeling for them, knowing that they're working with a good partner at CBI Bank and Trust and reassuring them to not worry, right? And here comes that upswing. And imagine if that just continues.
you're always going to have downward periods.
Sure.
To continue to grow, you have to have these downward periods.
Absolutely. Right. Yeah, it's like this diet that I've been on. Some days I just gotta eat cake every day,
It
man.
may not be quite the same, but
No,
I
it's-
feel your pain there.
Thank you. What about like a NASDAQ cake? Do you like that idea? Is that
So-
something maybe we could send over to the office?
I always
My
think
birthday this Saturday. I bought 2 different cakes for her, and I got like 3 messages on Facebook from people. And I appreciate that people are concerned about me, but the messages were very much like, I don't think cake's on your diet. And I was like, yeah, no, it's not. I understand. Look at that. That's what we need. CBI Bank and Trust coming in hot. Gonna send a cake like that to the office. It's the best idea that we've had, John. We'll send Bob Howard the bill for it. So as far as people, again, having that conversation, getting started now, don't wait. Reaching out to you is easy to do. I mean, CBI Bank and Trust all over social media. The website couldn't be better as far as I'm concerned. The website, super informative, but you just need to take that next step and get face-to-face, probably. And I'm assuming, are you in downtown?
so. Yes, downtown
big bank?
office.
Okay.
I go to any of the offices, but
Oh.
I'm office.
Willing to travel.
So I am willing to travel.
Don't see you out here at the store a lot. You don't like the super bank here at Hy-Vee? What's happening?
Well,
There is
we
an
don't get a
office.
whole lot of people coming into this office to ask about retirement.
Right.
They want their cash, so that's what they're coming here for.
But let the record state there is an office at the CBI Bank and Trust Hy-Vee Super Bank that you would be willing to come out to.
Yes.
Even if it was just to come out and receive a cake, you'd be okay with that.
I will definitely come out and receive a cake.
Yes, John Holte, Senior Vice President, Senior Trust Officer, CBI Bank and Trust. When it comes to setting yourself up for financial success and some long-term planning, no time like the present, estate planning for sure. I'm really glad that you brought that up. I wouldn't even have thought to talk about that, but I think that that's an important topic. And I know that a lot of this stuff can make people feel uncomfortable, but it's better than the alternative always, right?
It is better than the alternative.
I don't want you to, I don't know. Because I think we all know somebody that has gone through that experience of losing someone and there was no plan in place and how messy that can get.
Exactly.
And the added stress that can, is no good. Josie Wall chiming in saying, tell John we want donuts. You know, these coworkers of yours, they're
demanding.
very demanding.
Yes.
They've got a lot of wants. I feel like there's want versus need. That's a conversation you might have at the office.
Yeah, they're
right?
needy too, but hey.
What you should do is bring back one donut and then use it
Cut
as
it
a
up.
teaching tool. I'm going to give you this piece now, and then in 20 years I'll give you this piece. But that piece will have grown into a long john. Do you like this analogy?
Sure.
Yeah?
They'll
Sure?
be a little fuzzy, but
That's
they'll be
right.
all right.
I love it. Thank you, buddy, for coming on the show. I
Thanks,
appreciate
Tony.
it. CBI Bank and Trust. You've heard people come on here and talk about first-time home buying, long-term planning. They can literally do it all. There's no service connected to the financial world that y'all can't offer, as far as I'm concerned, right?
I believe so.
From your first checking account for a kid or grandkid into talking about what's best for you and your family in the future. It's all there. All right. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Visit CBI Bank and Trust website, Facebook page, or come see them at all their different locations. In and around Muscatine, by the way. Look at how nice the website is. It's super slick, y'all. I like that a lot. All right. I want to go CBI Bank and Trust aisle cam in the floral department. Look at how good that looks. Those are candy flowers. I see. Now, who's doing this with the diet that I'm on? Did you guys read my messages from the people that were concerned about me having cake, and now you're trying to tempt me on Monday? I feel like if you look at diets, are Mondays the hardest if you're on a diet, because you get through the weekend, and whether you had a good weekend or not, which, there was cake in my weekend, so I would say it was from the Hy-Vee bakery, so it was only marvelous, and I brought leftover cake to share. Just kidding. I feel like you get into Monday and you're like, I'm going to make a better decision. And then your coworkers are showing you candy, and it's right there. And not to mention, I can see one of my favorites. I can see look at this. This is how chubby I am. I can see the side of a Snickers wrapper right in there. I can see a Hershey's, a Crunch, a Snickers. I could do without the Three Musketeers. Anybody else with the Three Musketeers? I don't want to do it. You love Three Musketeers? Betsy loves Three Musketeers. I'm more of a Milky Way fan, right? But Snickers for sure. I'm telling you right now. And again, and I know that I'm, talking about a diet and losing weight, and I mentioned this the other day, still have not been hit up to buy Girl Scout cookies. Can you believe it? Has anybody here bought Girl Scout cookies on the show? Has anybody bought Girl Scout cookies? Ryan? Brenda? No Girl Scout cookies? Wow. It's a shock, y'all. Hey, listen, you got a kid, grandkid, niece, whoever, selling Girl Scout cookies, have them reach out. I need to put that sleeve or two of Thin Mints in my freezer for the summer. You want to talk about setting yourself up for success with your finances? Set yourself up for success with a Thin Mint in your freezer for the summer. That's the title of my book, Hidden Thin Mints, a love story by Tony Tone. Chapter the first. All right, let's go to the Toyota of Muscatine cart cam. Betsy is ready. Today, ladies and gentlemen, is the 14th of January. We are doing this show on a Monday. I will say that even though I'm not a big fan of snow and having to deal with it, at least it's covered up all the gross-looking grass, And if you have leaves in your yard and you thought your yard was looking a little bad, it's all covered now. You don't have to worry. Right? Mother Nature did you a favor. So today, the 14th of January, is National, a couple things. I feel like Betsy is going to participate in this. It's National Dress Up Your Pet Day. How many costumes do you have for your four-legged friends? This might be something that I put on Facebook. Do you have a lot of costumes for your four-legged friends? And will you be dressing them up today? We're not going to judge you if you do. Something that I participate in on Fridays typically, National Clean Off Your Desk Day. I like having a clean desk heading into the weekend. I even do the move where you spray it down and wipe it, make it look real good. So maybe you'll clean off your desk today. And then last but not least, and this is where we bring in the car cam, it's Hot Pastrami Sandwich Day. And I spelled pastrami wrong twice when I was printing my little sheet with my notes on it. So thank you to Microsoft Word for correcting my spelling of pastrami. So what I asked Betsy to do was navigate just around the set to the deli department, where I'm going out on a ledge, I'm assuming that there is pastrami in the case. I don't know. There couldn't very well not be, but if I had to assume, I'm going to tell you right now that there's pastrami in there. So you could celebrate National Hot Pastrami Day by perhaps getting yourself, hey, there's Jennifer. You could get yourself a pastrami sandwich. Doesn't that sound good, Ryan Broderson? Do you like pastrami? You a fan? Man, the picture that they had online, Google me up a pastrami sandwich, will you? Let's make the folks at home hungry. So pastrami, I'll tell you what, you get a good mustard on there. I might recommend a Boji's mustard made in the Quad Cities. And you're all set. Get some bakery fresh bread, and you're having a party. So let's see if Betsy has been successful looking for... There's Del Martini saying the pastrami is right here. And I've also asked that maybe Betsy grab a slide. Oh, he's opening the... I didn't know the front of the case opened. Our official hand model, Delmer, everybody. Hy-Vee Today hand model. I'm just glad he's got gloves on for once. Tell you what. The way he normally handles that pastrami. So make yourself a hot pastrami sandwich. And when it comes to... Look at that. Doesn't that look good? There is a Red Hot Brian Scott on Facebook commenting, donuts. Donuts for 2019. Hy-Vee Today with Tony Tone. Nobody steal it. Cody, I'm looking at you. Don't you steal my trademark. Go nuts for donuts, everybody. Like that a lot. That's a nice take. Okay, a couple things to mention, and not really in a hurry to get out of here because it's a Monday. I feel like our Monday shows should be 3 hours long. Who's with me? There is a tenderloin sale. Boy, this is exciting, y'all. This Friday, starting at 8 a.m., It is the most delicious sale of the year. Hand-breaded tenderloin sandwich, just $1.99. How do I know that they'll be hand-breaded? Because I'm going to be helping make these sandwiches with gloves on. 2,000 of them. That's how many we're making. 2,000 hand-breaded tenderloins. I'm going to have at least one or two on Friday. It's payday. It's going to be the best lunch ever. You could have it for breakfast. It starts at 8 a.m., goes till 8 p.m. this Friday, $1.99. And if you know anything about the hand-breaded secret recipe Hy-Vee tenderloins, they're unbelievable. And you can add a side dish for only $1. Beans, mac and cheese. Beans, the magical fruit. The more you eat, the more you smell good. Au gratin potatoes, mashed potatoes, or some vegetable options available. There's no limit. Have one, have tenderloins if you like. And then Ryan Broderson, if we scroll down, I would be remiss if I didn't mention the Thursday night steak dinner. Last week went over really well. Folks enjoying the steak dinner. And we hope you'll come out this week. It's a flat iron steak dinner, 8 ounce, $8, 12 ounce, $12. Unreal price. Now, it'd be one thing if we were just giving you the steak for that price. But in addition to that, think about the value. 12 ounce steak for $12, plus it comes with loaded mashed potatoes and your choice of vegetable for $12. That's redonkulous. Dinner for two for under $25. Do the math. It checks out. And it's a steak. And then off to the side of that, Ryan, since we're here, this is on the back page of the Voice of Muscatine newspaper, Game of Thrones trivia. A week from today, a lot of people excited. Starts at 6 o'clock. It's free to play. You could win some Hy-Vee gift cards. I've got that Hold the Door doormat. And several reservations have been made already. If you like Game of Thrones, get signed up, 563-264-2420, and we'll get you on the list. I got to say, I love when people are shopping at Hy-Vee and they notice the show, because you can tell when it's the first time that they're noticing it. We get a lot of head turns, and they're all positive. Thank you. It's great. And it's even better when people need... There's a spice rack right over here. And sometimes people need to buy the spices, and we got to get them the spices. Red Hot Brian Scott saying, a donut pastrami sandwich. Oh. Now listen, there's people that have a recipe or a menu item at different places that's a hamburger or a cheeseburger that uses a donut and another donut for the bun. I have not tried that in my life. Like, I'm a big person. I've eaten a lot of ridiculous stuff. But I ain't never had no donut burger. Would it be good? It would be the sweet and savory, right? A lot of people, the sweet, the savory. Is it something that we should add to the menu here at Hy-Vee and the Market Grill Express? I don't know. I thought it was strange enough when people started putting peanut butter on a burger, but it turns out that's only the best idea ever. Peanut butter, bacon, cheeseburger. There it is right there. That is a donut burger, y'all. I can hear myself getting chubbier. Heavy breathing. Give me two of those. Go back to the picture. Nobody wants to see my mug. Look at that thing. Let's make people hungry. I'll tell you what. You get a glazed donut. Maybe you start off slow, right? Maybe you get one glazed donut from here at Hy-Vee. You cut it in half, and then you try that to start before you graduate on. Because that's 2 donuts right there. That is 2 donuts with a burger, with bacon, with cheese. America. Not keto friendly. You know what? You take away the donuts, keto friendly. Right? All right. Ryan Broderson, there's a couple things on my list, and then I would like you to go to my Facebook so I can show off those birthday cakes that the bakery made for me this weekend. But let's talk about the 3-day fuel saver. So now it's rare, and a little bag of cereal. Look, 20-cent fuel saver. Buy 4 of them. Get the 20-cent fuel saver, plus the 3-day fuel saver that'll be going on. All of a sudden, you're maybe going to pay a penny for a full tank of gas. It happened like 3 times this weekend where somebody literally spent a penny and filled up their vehicle. Unbelievable. You got some mini wheats in there. Captain Crunch. I see Crunch Berries. I'm okay with Crunch Berries. Call me old school, but I kind of just like an original Captain Crunch. Right? Back in my day, Captain Crunch was just Captain Crunch. He was a crusty old pirate with sugar. Right. Crusty old pirate. Here, kids, have your cereal. Thanks, Captain Crunch. Do we have to walk the plank again? Maybe. We're doing a wedding in the store, guys. Don't know if you heard. I do in aisle 2. Literally, this show is done in aisle 2. So on Saturday, February 23rd, a wedding will be happening in the store. Complete wedding that you watching this could win. A $5,000 value, includes the ceremony, reception, food, flowers, dessert, DJ, right? So I will be performing the ceremony since I am an ordained minister, reverend, the Rev tone if you'll have it. I've done 3 or 4 weddings. I don't want to brag. I'm okay at it. And then I'll DJ your wedding for free. So you put all this together, it's easily very excited, by the way. We'll have the winner announced soon, Saturday, February 2nd. Enter on the Hy-Vee Facebook page. It might seem like a silly premise, but this is a real deal, and you'll spend the night of the 23rd at the Merrill Hotel and Conference Center. They're going to set you up with a room. Maybe you want the same groom's band that I have. They can set you up with that. It's a nice one, right? Think about that. It's another cost you don't have to worry about. Mary's Diamonds and Jewelry, located in the village of East Davenport. I've known those guys. I don't even know how many years. A long time. 12 years I've known those guys. So check that out. All right. What else do we have, Ryan? Have we done everything on our list? We got to do the team staffing job board. So let's do that. If you're looking for a job, or if you know someone that is, we always tell you. And then we'll come to my Facebook page with some bakery cakes. Whatever you have ready first, I can handle. So team staffing right around the corner, Lake Park Boulevard, across from Happy Joe's. And it was Charity's birthday yesterday, if I'm not mistaken. Charity Garrison, who's been at team staffing as long as I've known her, which is just about 5-6 years now. So happy birthday, Charity. Appreciate you. Hope you had a good one. And thank you for bringing us the team staffing job board. Here's our buddy Alan. Has assembly, forklift, and machine operator opportunities for you. Pay range from $11 to $13.50 an hour. I like that font. That's fun. It's like a neon font, everybody. All shifts. Stop by the office. Get started immediately. 563-316-7638 or careers at teamssi.com. Katie has cleanup crew. Yep. Immediate opening. Again, start ASAP. 563-316-7639. $13.55 per hour, Monday through Friday. No weekends on that one. 7 a to 3:30 p.m. Get to work. And last but not least, thank you, Ryan Brooke McCullough. First shift, machine operator, $12 an hour. They'll get you started. Just if you're ready to work, they'll get you to work. That's the thing about team staffing. They don't mess around. They've got opportunities. They have openings. They need good people. They're ready to go. It's just about you or someone you know taking that step, calling Brooke, Katie, Charity, whomever, Alan, Yoli, Marcy. They're all ready to get you to work. 563-316-7636. Careers at teamssi.com. Before we go, Ryan Broderson, my wife's birthday was on Saturday. She turned 25. 26. You should never talk about your wife's age on TV. That's pro tip from your old pal, Tony Tone. So I had 2 birthday cakes made because, why not? Full disclosure. So started at the bottom one, Ryan. Started from the bottom, now we're here. That's a red velvet cake with the cheesecake frosting. Now, that's an 1/8 of a size, so not the biggest cake, super heavy. Because that frosting is legit. Again, this is not keto friendly. Stop judging me if I had cake for my wife's birthday. It was unbelievable. And then that is a chocolate cake with the white buttercream. So full disclosure, bought that cake to bring to a party, to sing to my wife at the party, to then, have people eat at the party. It didn't happen. I ended up bringing the cake home. So now, if anybody wants cake, I don't know how much cake it's safe to give a 4-year-old or a 6-year-old or a baby. Can babies eat cake, Ryan Broderson? Can a 3-month-old eat cake? No, they can't, Ryan. There goes the plan for Ryan to babysit. I guess I'm going to have to find another option. I come home and my kids are just climbing on the wall. Dad, that Ryan guy gave us cake. What else did he give you? More cake. Okay. My kids haven't slept for days thanks to babysitter Broderson. So your whole business plan that you had in place, the Broderson, what's your last name? Broderson babysitting bunch, the triple B, you can't do it anymore. You can't do it. You're going to compete with all the daycare places in town. The Broderson babysitting bunch. I almost like Bonanza better, but it doesn't really make sense. Broderson babysitting, total sense, right? Think about it. That's all that's on the menu. What are we serving the kids for lunch today? Cake. Again? Uh-huh. Ryan's thinking about it. He's like, I could probably make some good money on a little daycare business, right? You want to talk about retirement options. John Holte at CBI Bank and Trust would tell you, he would tell me to invest in the Broderson babysitting bonanza. You think of another good B word to put at the end, I'll throw it in there. I can't think of another good one. No, Betsy. Betsy trying to work her name into it, I think. All right. Thanks for watching the show. Thanks to our friend John Holte with CBI Bank and Trust. When it comes to looking at options for setting yourself up for success, setting up your family, I hope that you consider our friends at CBI Bank and Trust. They've got a myriad of services to help you. Today's secret word is myriad. So thanks to John for being on the show. His first time coming on. Probably didn't know what to expect. Did a great job. And we appreciate everybody that's watching at CBI Bank and Trust. We've got full show scheduled for you, next couple of weeks. Some fun guests coming up, some first-timers. Still have some room, fill in some holes in the schedule. I always encourage you to send those guest suggestions to hyveetoday@gmail.com. Email address is on the bottom of the screen. You can always call me at the store, 563-264-2420. You can reach out on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Happy to accept those suggestions from you because we can't assume that we know that everything going on in and around Muscatine and Wilton and West Liberty and the surrounding communities. So we'd love to have those folks on the show to talk about everything that they've got. It's what we're here to do, y'all. All right, so that being said, save the date this Friday. Come have a tenderloin with us for only $1.99. That's going to be a lot of fun. You'll see that ad on the back page of the Voice Muscatine newspaper. It's on our Facebook page because we've got a little giveaway attached to it. Win a Hy-Vee gift card and come eat well. A tenderloin for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That just sounds like a good idea. Okay? We'll see you live at 8:30 on Tuesday morning. Replays of this show, as you probably know because you're watching it on cable. Thank you, by the way. 7:30 and 10:30 p.m. Muscatine Power and Water, digital cable, channel 5. Watch this show. And every episode, you could go back to a year. I haven't done this, by the way. You could go back to almost a year. The show will be a year old on February 5th, and you could watch our very first episode ever. And the last thing that I'll say, because I just thought about it, is 6 years ago today, this is the date, January 14th, 2013, that I came back on the radio. It was the first day that I could legally be back on the radio. I had a non-compete, which is basically something that prevents you from working in media within a certain... Anyways, January 14th, 2013, that was the first day I was back on the radio. And quite frankly, without the success that I had at my previous job, wouldn't be sitting here doing this show or had the opportunity to come to a place like Hy-Vee. So for all the people that have supported me personally in Muscatine, I appreciate that. And I thank you very much as we continue to have fun and bring you information. And I'll tell you what, we had CJ Ryan, Muscatine County Sheriff, on the show on Friday. And what did he tell us he was going to do? He left this show and said he was going to meet with Muscatine County Attorney Alan Ostergen. And guess what? They updated us that they made arrests in that terrible case with the girl whose body was found along 38. They arrested somebody in that case, and they arrested somebody in that kidnapping case. So how about CJ Ryan coming here and saying, he didn't give anything away. He didn't tell me that before he left or before we started. I saw the update just like y'all did on social media and on the news. So shout out to the Muscatine County Sheriff's Office and Muscatine Police and everybody for working together on that. Appreciate that very much. All right, said enough. We'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Goodbye, y'all.
Thanks for watching Hy-Vee Today with Tony Tone.
Be very, very quiet while hunting wabbits.
We'll do it again tomorrow with more local guests from in and around the Muscatine community.
I'm trying to emote for the play that the alumni are putting on in Wilton.
Yeah, man.
This Friday, Saturday.
Questions, comments, know a great guest? Reach out to Hy-Vee Today with Tony Tone on Facebook or via email, hyveetoday@gmail.com.